when we first set up 10 years ago, we wanted to be thought leaders in education. We wanted to be the school which dared to do something which 99% of other schools didn't want to do, or probably didn't even think possible to do. And I think we've achieved a lot of that. We've shown it's possible for students, for faculty to love coming to school, to have fun, to excel in academics, in co-curricular activities, and be physically fit, as well as fit for life in terms of life skills. The question is, what next? And the question is, who will take the school forward from being a good school to being a great institution?
For an education leader, I think competence is one. Humility is probably pretty high on my list. Relationship builder, probably the third. Error rectifier, who does not condone errors, is not necessarily rude about it, but it does not let errors continue. And finally, I think vision. If I pick the top 5, its vision is beyond what is now happening.
I would ideally like to have a school where we provide a lot of opportunities for kids which are not restricted as such, but sort of open up the world for them. And I would like to be, if I have to take away from this, be a leader and sort of facilitate these opportunities for kids. So I'm hoping to do that on a larger scale for our school as well.
My only real goal was to see whether my journey through this workshop would help me to become a better person and a better teacher. So far some ideas are flowing in that direction, so hopefully it will build further.
What I'm preparing the teachers for is the next decade. The next decade is going to call into question our very essence of being a human being. We're not going to have as much money, we're not going to have as much water, we're not going to have the weather and climate that we have, and we can't afford to fight with people, and we have to remain inventive. I think creative thinking, inventiveness, innovation, being better at social skills, being more cooperative are all going to be as important as the competitive skills in a single discipline.
Actually, my favorite vision is the kind of student that walks out of here. I want to be able to come across a child somewhere and they will say, "Are you an inventurer?" And people will ask, "Are you an inventurer?" because you embody certain qualities. And to ensure that that happens, that children imbibe the Inventure way while they're here, that is the larger goal, which is mainly a values and skill-based approach. The academic learning can happen anywhere.
This definitely breaks the monotony in the class, because now I'm going to use anything that I find around me to teach, and I am sure that my children also will enjoy learning that way.
The Inventure way is being open to learning and to teaching both. That is, I don't think any teacher walks in here with the notion that I know everything. So I think that's probably what keeps us going. So we are keen to constantly take in new ideas and to share and to grow together.
When we start with kids, we start with them at 5 or 6 years old. by the time they leave Inventure, it's going to be 12 years from today. It's not 2014, but 2026. That's the imagination that every school, including Inventure, must realize, that the world in 2026 and the products of that year need to be facilitated, and we need to think about it now.
Inventure as a school is investing a tremendous amount of resources in ensuring that we get the kind of faculty required to deliver on our vision, to deliver on our core purpose.
Inventure way of leadership is they're very willing to empower people. They're very willing to part with authority while retaining responsibility. They are very relationship based. It's not as if because a thing has to be done, they will not step on people's toes. It's very inclusive, and I think it's also very caring. They're always thinking of how it will affect the children, how it will be impressed on the children, how it will affect the children in life.
Someone else called it the magic of Inventure, and how you actually need to come to Inventure to experience that magic. So what we're trying to make sure is that magic is not dependent on any one person, be it a leader or a teacher, but we somehow figure out how to institutionalize it and build this in every one of us. So what you're seeing is basically in the past 2 weeks we've been working towards that, sort of ensuring that everybody understands what Inventure stands for, and to ensure that it's still relevant, because let's face it, at the end of the day, you're preparing children for a future we have no idea what this future is going to look like. 16 years from now, 20 years from now, it's a cliche, but the only constant is change, and we're preparing children for that.